Excuse us. Hey, what took so long? Sorry for dropping by so late. We thought it might be you, Mr. Grimwood. What a pleasant surprise to have you visit. Yes, well, I had some matters to discuss with Sergei. Since I was in the neighborhood, I took the opportunity to stop by. Matters to discuss. Yeah, I'll cut to the chase. It's about Kia's identity. Aw, then did you guys figure anything out? Unfortunately not. It seems the request was also submitted to the guild, but I, at Sergei's behest, explored another possibility. Unfortunately, it wasn't. No, actually, I'm pleased to say the possibility I looked into was a bust. You were happy it was a bust? Right, it was pertaining to a story several years back. There were multiple cases of child abductions, primarily focused in the Kalvar Republic. Child abductions? That's horrible. I'll omit the more unnecessary details, but it was a pretty massive case. Because Kalvar wasn't the only country targeted, an international investigation team was created to get to the bottom of things. Each country's army, police force, the Bracer Guild, you name it, everyone cooperated to put an end to that mess. That's crazy. It's the first I've heard of it. Same here. Since it was kept under wraps, it must have been pretty damn serious. Yes, eventually the case was closed. In the end, it was decided that due to its nature, it was kept strictly confidential. The only reason I know about it is because I was involved, serving as an advisor. Wait, hold on a second. You're saying there's a chance Kia could be one of the victims from this whole abduction incident? I'd say it's, like, really likely. I thought the same thing, so I searched through the case records again, and to my relief, I wasn't able to find any children who matched Kia's description. For the record, nearly all the men responsible for those horrors were arrested, and remainder committed suicide. I simply came by today to inform Sergei of my findings. I see. I believe that Kia wasn't part of that. The fact that it actually happened, I would have ended up telling you about all this eventually. Anyway, we're back to square one with Kia. Well, that's fine. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. We'll look after the little kiddo until we find one of her relatives. Right, I'd appreciate it if you kept sheltering the child here. But in case we can't end up finding a relative, we should consider entrusting her to a foster family or to a church orphanage. Well, I don't think Kia is going to be okay with that. But those are outcomes all of you need to start considering. Adopting a kid isn't like taking in some stray animal. She can't just keep living here forever, no matter how cute she might be. That might be true. I mean, like, Kia's not going to let her fly. Yeah, you're right. She'll need a good bit more care than some kitten, that's for sure. Sorry, everyone. Seems I brought down the mood a bit. You all just returned from a long day of work, didn't you? I imagine you have a report to deliver, so I think I should excuse myself now. No, please wait. The truth is, there's something we were planning on consulting you about. Oh, what's that? So you see. You were working on the missing person case. Sounds like a job for the SSS, alright. Didn't seem like anything illegal was going on, so we just let him be. I wonder if we should have tried a little harder to get him to go home, though. Well, that's a complicated question. If you were bracers, there'd be a bit more wiggle room to negotiate, comes with the job. If a police officer tried to pull that move, however, odds are the whole situation would turn into a civil dispute. It's an exceedingly fine line. I was afraid you'd say that. The guy's old enough to make his own decisions, so in the end, I guess it's none of our business. If you were just some brat, we could have just given him a little kick in the rear and sent him home. That's true. However, you mentioned his skills and luck with gambling completely changed, almost like he was a completely different person. Ian, something about this rub you in the wrong way? Well, it might just be a coincidence, but lately 2 similar stories have come to my attention. Oh, really? Telling me there's not 1, but 3 lucky bastards who hit the jackpot? No, it's a bit different. Stories I heard involved a stockbroker who works for a securities firm and the manager of a trading company. Recently, both companies sustained heavy losses and were almost in the red, but in the last few days, they seem to have experienced an incredible rebound. I could hardly believe it until I saw the numbers. Especially the stockbroker, it said he bought and sold stocks with unprecedented luck and intuition, as if he could see the future. That sounds pretty familiar. Don't worry, I'm sure it's only a coincidence. However, from what I've heard, these two have also become extremely arrogant just as their fortunes reversed. That tidbit piqued my interest. That's definitely strange. Ian, any chance you know the backgrounds of these two? Not yet, but if you're interested, I could start looking into them right away. You want to check possible ties, I presume? Yeah, if possible. Did something catch your attention, Chief? When you're in this business, Lloyd, it never hurts to have all the info you can. It's as simple as that. Ah, I understand. Pat told me something like that too, that the decisive factors in an investigation are intuition and the information you uncover. Well, then I'll get out of your way now. If there's ever anything bothering you, don't hesitate to stop by my office. I'll do everything in my power to help out. Thank you very much, Mr. Grimwood. We'll definitely take you up on that offer when the time comes. Heiyue's apartment. Revache managed to recover the smuggling routes. Oh, this dude again. Yes, sir. 3 of the routes we decimated over the last week have already been reorganized. We've been trying to impede them, but their resilience was most unexpected. How curious. I was led to believe that they didn't have the manpower to accomplish such a thing. Did their boss finally involve himself in their restoration efforts? That's the strangest part. Killing Bear was nowhere to be found. This appeared to be solely the work of subordinates. The reports state that they only brought enough for a small squad. Not only that, but there were no warhounds present either. How interesting. Now I'm even more curious. Had this been a battle of even numbers, Heiyue should have come out victorious. Did they employ those Riford heavy machine guns, perhaps? Yes, actually, their main forces appeared to have been armed with them. However, the reports also mention that their battle prowess has skyrocketed. Interesting. I get the impression Don Marconi is trying his utmost to appease the speaker and quell his rage. I don't recall any new reports of Jaegers being employed or training exercises being held either. Peculiar, very peculiar indeed. Are you implying they've acquired the trump card right under our noses? Precisely. As far as I'm able to tell, this trump card of theirs is truly something extraordinary. Perhaps even more so than our own. Like Yin, however, this new measure of theirs is something that can turn the tide of battle at a moment's notice. How the hell did they? What was that? Ah yes, speak of the devil, he shall appear. We got a big problem on our hands. A group of men draped in black are unloading rounds in the building. Revache, I think. There's about 10 of them, and the Killing Bear isn't one of them. There are only 10 measly grunts. Hurry it up and finish them off then. Don't worry about the police, this is self-defense, so anything goes. Well, the thing is, those guys aren't human, I'm telling you. They're holding massive machine guns with just one hand. The first floor has been breached. It's only a matter of time before they reach us, sir. Damn it, if only Master Gim was here. Oh dear. I doubt even I could outwit our foes in such a barbaric situation as this. Master Sayo, you don't mean... Let's go, Lao. Relying on Yin for a petty squabble like this would be a stain on Heiyue's name. Come, let's demonstrate our might as the conquerors of the Eastern Quarter. Okay, whatever you say. Thus bringing day 1 to a close? This girl is full of surprises. You're telling me that Kia cooked all of these sunny side up eggs for us? She sure did. Her technique was so good I ended up picking up a few tricks from her. Fried eggs with a bit of runny yolk. Nice. This bacon too. It's fried to perfection. Just the right amount of crispness. Crispiness, words. She displayed just as much skill helping me with yesterday's cream stew. Are you sure you don't have any training in the culinary arts, Kia? I don't know, maybe? Whenever I cook, it's like my hands are moving on their own. Well, I guess it's possible to retain skills like that through muscle memory. The fact that she's this talented at her age is pretty amazing. Hey Tio, I was wondering, do you feel okay today? You look fine as far as I can tell. If you're not feeling 100%, maybe you should take the day off and rest. No, I'm fine. After all, I went to bed quite a bit earlier than usual yesterday. I don't think we have any urgent requests to take care of, so we can always wait and see how your feet... Hold that thought. A call? Pretty early for that, ain't it? Is it Fran? I'll check. Yes, this is Lord Bannings of the SSS. Yeah, I know already. This is Yona. And where the heck are you? What are you doing right now? I wasn't expecting a night owl like yourself to be awake this early in the morning. Implying I didn't pull an all-nighter. But enough about that, it doesn't matter. From how carefree you sound, I bet you don't know anything at all, right? Don't know anything about what? So, you don't know. Well, then I, the great and brilliant Yona, will do you a favor. In the dead of night yesterday, well, technically today, I guess, but that's beside the point. Either way, someone raided Heiyue's office. They were completely caught off guard, too. No offense, all defense, you know? Apparently they took some serious damage. If you ask me, it had to have been done by those Revache guys. It's not outside the realm of possibility. Thanks for the heads up, Yona. You owe me one now, Lloyd. I'll buy you a pizza later. That was Yona. Yeah, something crazy's popped up. Is that really true, Lloyd? That's freaking insane. It's bold of them to pull such a stunt in the city, even if it was in the middle of the night. If all this is true, I bet anything the First Division's already jumped on the case. If it bothers you that much though, then go ahead and check it out, but only after you finish eating. Will do, sir. Oh, right. Will you be good to go, Tio? Yes, of course. We can walk over to the Harbor District after we finish our breakfast. Any new request to do? No. Same old request. And they're still both long. With that, let's just go to Heiyue then. This place is a mess. Certainly looks like the aftermath of a raid. Definitely, there are traces of heavy weaponry scattered all over. At least they didn't resort to explosives. The whole place would be a crater if they did. Ah, I see you guys are on the scene too. Hey Franz, how's the situation looking? We rushed out here as soon as we heard the news. I don't know much yet. All I've heard is that the shots were fired in the middle of the night. Dudley and the others are in the middle of conducting an investigation. Sounds like the First Division beat us to the punch. They're always quick to jump on cases like this. We'd like to ask the members of Heiyue some questions. Do you mind letting us in? I suppose I could. I was only told to not let civilians pass through here. You'll have to make up an excuse to Dudley for me, though. Of course, thanks for helping us out. Look at this music. Sayo, if you'll excuse me then. We'd like to help you, but unless you're willing to give us more details, there's not much we can do. You'll have to forgive me. After all, it was late into the night. I haven't the foggiest idea of who the assailants might be or why they targeted our humble company. Even so, it appears you were able to mount an efficient defense. The first and second floors were devastated, yet this room remains spotless. How in the world were you able to fend off assailants armed with heavy machine guns? I'll admit it was tricky. However, the assailants managed to escape our grasp, I'm afraid. Many of our men were sent to St. Ursula. My oh my, what a disaster. You have my condolences. Now if you'll... Excuse us. You four. What's the special support section doing here? Why, good morning, Detective Bannings. I see the rest of you have come along as well. Pardon our interruption, Saya. I know you're busy with the aftermath of the raid, but could I borrow you a minute? Could I borrow a minute of your time? Anything for you, my friend. If you'll excuse us then, Dudley. I appreciate you having stopped by. Have a nice day. Goodbye. This irritates me to no end, but I'm leaving this snake to you. Try to get what you can out of him. Yes, sir. It's been quite some time, my friends. I hear you all had quite the adventure on the final day of the anniversary festival. I'm assuming Yin told you all about that. As you know, the special support section doesn't follow conventional investigative protocol. And with that in mind, how about you go ahead and tell us about your true intentions? Boy, there's no point wasting our time with his usual song and dance. Not only that, but we have a lot of ground to cover with Sayo. I figured I'd get straight to the point. Oh, now that's one hell of a gutsy move. Boy can be quite audacious when he wants to be. Excellent, Mr. Banning. Simply superb. I knew I was right to put my hopes in you. Very well. I'm not particularly fond of trivial exchanges anyway. If your questions are within the realm of my knowledge, I'll provide the answers you seek. Thank you, Sayo. There were 3 things I wanted to ask you about. Is it safe to assume Revache is behind the last night's raid? Or is there a chance the attack was carried out by a third party? So you're gonna ask about that too. Very well. Lau, please explain for them, sir. The assailants may have been masked to conceal their identities, but there's no doubt it was Revache's men. Not only were their weapons identical, but so was their combat style. That's something that can't be mimicked so easily. I see, that makes sense. In that case, something's still rubbing me the wrong way. I hear you Heiyue guys are all pretty damn good martial artists. Heck, I bet your man Lau here could hand out beatings left and right. You flatter me. I'm sure Revache doesn't have a shortage of combat pros, but none of them could match up with you guys one-on-one. So then, how'd you get trashed so hard by a handful of their thugs? Was the killing bear leading the charge or something? No, I don't believe the esteemed general manager of sales was present. Neither were his hand-picked ex-Jaeger friends. We believe Revache's regular combat personnel to be behind the attack. If that's the case, then how? Though their techniques were simple, their speed and power were beyond comprehension. They were able to brandish those heavy machine guns single-handedly. Our defenses were easily crushed by their unnatural strength. They overtook the first 2 floors with ease. No fooling. It wasn't only limited to their power and speed either, they had inhuman endurance as well. Thanks to that, I had to put into practice a few dangerous techniques. Dangerous techniques like what? I wasn't aware you were trained in combat yourself, child. I'm nothing but an amateur compared to Master Yin. Future interactions. I'm not going to beat around the bush, Sayo. How do you plan to respond to their raid? So that's what you want to know, is it? If you know what manner of organization Heiyue is, then there shouldn't be any need to ask such a question. So you're planning to retaliate then, obviously. My, how presumptuous to think we would ever do such a thing. I know you want to, though. I see that smirk on your face. You misunderstand. I'm speaking only in terms of crisis management. At the end of the day, what matters most to our company is profit. In situations where our profit's threatened, it's my sworn duty to crush our antagonizers through the appropriate methods. I fail to see what's so strange about that. What an annoyingly shrewd man. Is requesting assistance from Heiyue's main office one of these appropriate methods? Reinforcements from Heiyue's main office, huh? You really are beating around the bush, aren't you? Or aren't beating around the bush words. Well, to answer your question, I have no such plans at the moment. After all, my reputation's on the line here. However, there's no guarantee the main office will respect my wishes. They may intervene regardless. I suppose I should be able to keep them out of things for a little while at the very least. Either way, we're sorely lacking in information about Revache's current improvements. As such, we don't have an effective countermeasure. For now, I've assigned someone to keep a close eye on their movements. That's someone being an extremely reliable collaborator of ours. He requested Yin's assistance. I guess he would be the best option for an undercover mission like this. And he is identical. This isn't directly related to the case in question, but I figured I'd ask while I'm here. Do you really not know anything about Kia? But Lloyd, that's... Kia, you said. Is that meant to be a person's name? Sounds more like a code word to me. I mean, like the A is capital. Maybe he's onto something. Ah, pardon me. I see this is a serious matter. All I know is that Kia is the name of that little girl you took into custody after the Schwarz auction. Well, that and the fact that our dear collaborator offered you a small piece of advice while you were there. The exhibits for the second half of the auction are all stored in the room over there. There was a bomb. Okay, this is rehashing dialogue, so I'm honestly gonna let the Japanese voice acting do the job here. A large leather trunk will be exhibited at the end of the auction. Inside the trunk is a bomb, which will only serve to jeopardize Revache's position. This information was sent to us through a very complicated route. We were unable to determine the identity of the informant, however in some ways that only made it more credible. We wanted to be certain, however, so we asked our friend to check on it. Even in my wildest dreams, I never expected this purported bomb to end up being a small girl. Damn, looks like he's gonna feign ignorance till the very end. Let's assume you're telling the truth. Do you have an inkling as to who that informant might have been? Logically speaking, information this sensitive and incriminating would point to the actions of a Revache defector. The only thing I could say for certain is that whoever was behind it, they're an incredibly skilled individual. At any rate, this is as far as our knowledge regarding Heiyue goes. So I suppose it's up to you whether you believe me or not. Understood, thanks for answering us honestly. Now then, does this conclude your questioning? Yes, for the moment, I appreciate your cooperation, but I'm still watching you. Do you mind if I give the department an outline of what we discussed? Do as you like, my friend. By the way, Detective Bannings. Yeah? I'll be honest with you, this raid was far beyond what I thought Revache was capable of. I was under the impression that I was fully cognizant of their forces, connections, and strategies. Further, given the scrutiny they currently find themselves under, I never expected them to pull off such a brazen move. It truly surpassed all my expectations. I'm almost a little impressed. I must say, I'm unbelievably excited for what's to come. I cannot recall an instance in the last few years where a situation didn't play out exactly as I expected. This is a rare opportunity for me to wield the full force of my power and intellect to my heart's desire. The mere thought gives me an indescribable joy. You have a palace, confirmed. You use the word desire and heart in the same sentence. Hey, watch yourself. You're truly unbelievable. Do not think for 1 second that I will allow the police to ruin my fun, although I'm willing to grant a unique opportunity to your department. If you could somehow resolve the situation before Heiyue begins its retaliation, then we'll have no need to do so. I'll be equally awaiting your next move. Alright, well, that went well. Now we get the Phantom Thieves to infiltrate his palace, because he very obviously has one. Things have really gotten serious. Yes, they gave us plenty of useful information to work with, but I can't believe Sayo would so blatantly imply a full-scale war with Revache. If things keep heating up like this, then we're gonna have a real mess on our hands. We're screwed if they decide to have a firefight in the middle of town. Additionally, we have to consider the possibility that Heiyue may call for reinforcements. There are more than a few dark clouds already gathering on the horizon. Even so, sounds like we still have a bit of time, judging by what Sayo said. There are a lot of suspicious details about this raid Revache pulled off, so we'll need to find out as much as we can before Heiyue mobilizes. I agree. Shall we visit each of the districts and question the citizens? No, I think it would be better to go straight to the source. Let's pay Revache a visit. You're kidding, right? We may have gone there once before, but still. That was before the incident at the auction. Wouldn't it be too reckless to go there now? It's true, they may have struck a deal with us, but it only relates to Kia's case. However, there's something I'm concerned about. What might that be? Garcia's movements. We had enough encounters with him to know what kind of person he is. He never seemed the type to be reckless, and I got the feeling he had a strong command over his subordinates. You're absolutely right, he was a well-known Jaeger commander, way too disciplined to pull any crazy stunts. In fact, it's pretty hard to imagine him ordering his men to launch an assault on Heiyue like that. Did Garcia actually order the raid, or did his subordinates act on their own? That's definitely something we need to find out. Right. And the fastest way to do that is to start asking questions around Revache's base. You guys want to head there now? I suppose it's the best option. It should be relatively low risk if we're simply asking around the area. Let's go have ourselves a little stakeout. We're in the back alley, right? Just like I thought, there are more guards posted here than usual. You're looking way more pissed than I was expecting to. Impatient, excited, vigilant, anxious. I'm detecting a wide range of emotions from them. There's no mistaking it. They must be on high alert for any retaliation from Heiyue. This isn't gonna be easy. Now, ascertaining Garcia's movements should be what? He just ambushed us? He nothing personnel kitted us? Garcia Rossi? Damn, how'd that monster manage to sneak up on us? It's you guys. You have the audacity to show your faces around here after all the shit you've put us through. I won't make any excuses. Our deal with you only concerns Kia and Kia alone. And we're understood. You use our deal as an excuse to come waltzing into our territory, I'm going to beat the ever-loving hell out of you. Yeesh, this guy's one dangerous old man. I know why you lot are snooping around here. However, you won't be getting a single word out of me on that matter. If you understand, then get lost. Damn. Please, just tell me one thing. If hypothetically you were to attack an armed enemy stronghold, would you attack head-on from the front, leaving everything to brute strength? An honest Jaeger like myself would never stoop to such a poor strategy. I'd wait until there was an opening and make a precise strike. Maximum results, minimum damage. Wouldn't you do the same, son of the war god? Don't you ever call me that again. But yeah, that's how Jaegers operate. Is that so? Thank you, I appreciate the answer. You're a strange kid. But anyway, you better not come in here unprepared, you hear me? I promise you'll be torn to shreds. Something sure seemed off with him. He looked tense but unusually haggard. I was thinking the same thing. His words were very aggressive, but I felt like they didn't have the same force behind them. I could sense a great deal of fatigue. What do you suppose could have happened to him? Damn, he's in such a sorry state. It ain't like the guy at all. I bet you guys would love to know why that is. Is this Gracelyn? Yeah, called it. You just love popping up at the most random times, don't you? Every reporter does it. What can I say? My reporter's intuition guides me to the juiciest of scoops. Anyway, what do you say we do the old give and take? I'll be anxiously awaiting your arrival at the jazz bar. Yeah, okay, sounds fair. What should we do, Lloyd? And now let's just hear what she has to say. We should keep our guard up. We'll need to be careful not to let anything slip around her. Duly noted. Oh, well, it's like right here. I wasn't expecting that, so...